So you just got done watching my Sports Cards 101 video on already start investing in football cards. But you want to find out a little bit more about specifics in regards to the football sports card market. Well, that's what we're going to cover in this video today. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Sports Cards 102, investing in football cards. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? Steve from Cards to Riches here. We're going to talk today about investing in football cards, specifically how to. We're going to get a little bit more in depth than what I did in my Sports Cards 101 video. And yeah, let's just get right to it. Well, today's video we're going to cover specifically football cards, which cards to get, which products to get, some important dates coming up that may affect the football card market. So you're finally going to be investing in football cards. You're not really sure what you're going to invest in. You're trying to decide whether you want to invest in maybe a wide receiver like DK Metcalf, or maybe invest in a quarterback such as Drew Lock or Kyler Murray. You're going to want to invest in quarterbacks if you're looking to flip and try to make the most profit out of it. Trying to invest in other players, you won't get the same results as you would investing in a quarterback. Perfect example would be my DK Metcalf Disco Prism that I ended up pulling in my last video. If you haven't seen that, there'll be a link in the description of that. But as you can see from this card here, I ended up pulling this DK Metcalf. It's a Disco Parallel. It's a great looking card. Looks beautiful. Unfortunately, the price for it is really not that much. You know, you have this card here that ended up selling for 15 bucks with shipping, maybe a little bit more, whereas a Drew Lock card, same card from the same pack, you know, same type of parallel Disco Prism, is selling for roughly around $35, maybe $40 with shipping. The money is unfortunately specifically for quarterbacks when it comes to sports card investing for football, but you can make some money off of some of the wide receivers if you end up getting in on them early enough. Someone like a DK Metcalf early on in the season wasn't selling anywhere near as high as he was, you know, towards the end of the season when the Seattle Seahawks were in the postseason and they were looking to make a Super Bowl run. He looked like a stud. That would be the perfect time to unload on him. Again, you know, you can make money off of different, you know, players such as a Josh Jacobs. Now that's the same for any other kind of market. If you're looking to go into, you know, baseball, basketball, soccer, anything like that, there are specific positions that end up just being worth more than others. Now when it comes to football cards, you're going to want to invest in specific cards. This is true for all markets, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, soccer, it doesn't matter. There's just going to be specific products that sell better than others. So what I've done for football is I kind of set them up into tiers. So the first tier of cards I have is your National Treasure. It's going to be your Flawless and your Immaculate. Those are the three boxes that I have as your tier 1. Now the reason I have them set up in this tier is for a couple things. You know, first off, your Immaculate are going to sell for a lot of money. Same with the Flawless and with the National Treasure. They're going to sell for a lot of money. A lot more than what they would with a Prism, with an Optic, with a Contender, or any of that stuff. It's just going to sell for more. You know, an example of that is the Lamar Jackson Immaculate. You can see here that it sells for a ton of money. You also have your Patrick Mahomes Flawless that sells for a stupid amount of money. And National Treasure, you know, those cards are going to be selling for tens of thousands of dollars, where Flawless sell for maybe a couple thousand to up to maybe like $16,000. And then you have your Immaculate that sells for a couple $1,000s, maybe in the high hundreds, you know, like $700-800 cards. Those cards you could get reasonably well when the season, you know, is in a downturn like right now, or, you know, you could flip them towards the end of the season and make a big profit off of it. Getting a little tired. Sorry. Want to make myself some coffee real quick. One sec. Make sure to check out my January investment video. Nothing's really changed since then, but that I go more in depth about cards that I'm going to be investing in and the reasons why. So like I was saying, your second tier product is going to be your Prism, your Optic, your Select, and your Contender. So you watched my Sports Cards 101 video, and I ended up talking about Prism and Optics. Those are two products that I would consider tier 2, along with Contenders and Select. Now, the reason I consider these guys tier 2 as opposed to tier 3 or anything else is just basically just the liquidity of it. Those cards are very easy to kind of get in and out of. For me, I want to be able to buy a card and then, you know, end up selling it really quick when I want to get out of it. It's more difficult to try to sell a, you know, Drew Lock playbook. You won't get as much of a return as you would selling a Drew Lock Prism. There's going to be more people looking for the Prism than there would be, you know, looking for the playbook. So the liquidity of it, being able to get in and out of your investment, is a lot easier with those products. Now, your tier 3 would be essentially the rest of your stuff. That would be your XR boxes, your Illusions, Obsidians, playbook, you know, your ones. You know, there's so much out there, Origins. There's just so much product that, you know, it can get very overwhelming. So I essentially broke it down to those 3 tiers. You know, tier 1 being your high end, tier 2 very easy to, you know, liquidate cards, and then tier 3 is like the other stuff. The 2 products that I would personally avoid is your Leaf and your Score, just because no one really seems to want those cards. It's very difficult to try to sell them. So I just stay away from them. That's been my personal experience with it, but you know, to each his own. Now, the National Treasure Box is going to be releasing on March 18th, so it hasn't even released yet. Hopefully, once it releases, I could get myself some Drew Lock cards. Your Flawless cards are going to be releasing March 25th. Now, my suggestion with those 2 is do not buy them when they first drop. You know, a card that may be $800, you know, first will end up selling for $600, $650, you know, a couple weeks down the road, just because everyone wanted in on the National Treasures, you know, out the gate, and they didn't want to miss out on it. I would say just wait. This is a very long off season. We're not going to be thinking about football until, you know, like August. So we have plenty of time. Just be patient. Wait on the cards. You don't want to buy them when they first drop, because usually you pay an extra premium just to be one of the first people to get them. So now, a couple of the things that are going to affect the card prices is things that's going to happen in real football. Now, in real football, you have your free agency coming up. That's going to be March 16th to 18th. During those times, the 16th to the 18th, teams could actually go and negotiate with players that are going to be free agent, you know, for the next season. Now, come March 18th, after 4 p.m., that's officially when the player becomes a free agent, and then contracts just boom, 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 getting signed for all the top tier guys. Now, the NFL draft is going to be held in Las Vegas on April 23rd. It's going to be the start of the draft. That's going to be, you know, your bread and butter first round pick. Super important. You know, you're going to be tracking what players are going where, you know, what teams are making what moves, and, you know, maybe what teams are trading back and want to pick up, you know, more draft stock as opposed to, you know, going with just the best player on the board type of deal. April 3rd is LSU's Pro Day. Now, the reason I'm bringing up LSU's Pro Day is because Joe Burrow did not throw at the combine, and neither did Tua Tagovailoa. He did not throw at the combine either. Now, Alabama's Pro Day is March 24th. So those are 2 dates you're going to want to be paying attention to. Obviously, they're going to have huge impacts in the football card market, and we're going to want to be able to see how these guys perform. If you guys like this kind of content, make sure to leave me a big thumbs up. Leave a comment down below of anything else you might want me to talk about.